All right, welcome to the webinar today. Today is February 17th, 2016, and we're doing a question and answer webinar with our students of Pronunciation Pro. So glad to have you here on the call today. As you have questions throughout this webinar, go ahead and write them in the questions box, and we'll go through those questions step by step. I did have one student email me a question, so we'll go through that as well. So just as we're going to need to start at the beginning here. Just a second. Okay, so just as an introduction here, my name is Annie Rudin, and this is my husband and my 3 little boys, and on Sunday, we celebrated Valentine's Day in the United States. And I know, happy Chinese New Year for all of those of you who are celebrating that this week. I know that that is a big, big holiday. A lot of my students will have told me a lot about the holiday and the way they celebrate the holiday, the Chinese New Year. So that's such a fun celebration, and happy Chinese New Year. Happy New Year to all of you. Okay, so in the United States here, we celebrated Valentine's Day this week, and so for Valentine's Day, my husband and I went and hiked a big mountain in the middle of the Phoenix, Arizona valley. So it's this big mountain called Camelback, and it's a really fun hike, and we got up really, really early and hiked it, so that was fun. And then my boys, we do a little special breakfast and things with them. So it's just a holiday. Valentine's Day is really just a holiday to celebrate love and celebrate family and those you love, and share that with them. All right, so here is, if you're new to the Pronunciation Pro course, this is our team here at Pronunciation Pro. We have on the left-hand side here, we have Gideani, who helps with kind of the emails and the questions and the counts and things that are coming through, and Andrea helps with our live clients. So Plus and Premier clients, she works with and works with them personally through the course. So she does a fantastic job. That's her cute little family. All right, so this webinar today, we're going to jump right into the questions, starting with a question from Solon, and then we'll jump into the questions. I see there's a couple of questions in the questions box already. But just before we get started, as this week we're celebrating Valentine's Day, we think a lot about the things that we love and enjoy about life. And yesterday, actually, I was working with a client in Tokyo and with a student in Tokyo, and it was just amazing to me that I could be at my home, in Arizona, in the United States, and be working with a student in his home in Tokyo, and be able to have that interaction and have so much they were able to talk about and share, and so much in common and things. So it's just a wonderful blessing to be able to get to know my students and get to know all of you, and to have this common bond of learning and improving English together. So very grateful for that, especially this week, as I'm thinking about all the things I love about life. All right, so let's jump into your question. So Solon, I am going to be sure to have you unmuted so that you can work with me through this question, because I know this is something that you're kind of having a struggle with. So it says, could you please show us the difference to make the O and the L sound at the end of words? For instance, row versus roll, hoe versus hole, and bow versus bowl. Okay, so that's that difference between that O sound. So it's that O sound, long O, and then the dark L, which is that ol sound. Okay, so Solon, I'm going to unmute you here. Solon, you there?
Hi, Annie.
Oh,
Hi, you
hi.
look so wonderful. Happy Valentine's Day and happy Chinese New Year. It's the year of monkey.
Yes.
you. It feels so fantastic. I've been watching a video for 4 weeks. It's the first time I joined the video conferencing. It's so
Oh,
fantastic. Thank you
good.
so much, Annie. You
You're
look
very
wonderful.
welcome. Oh,
It's
thank
really
you.
nice to see you on the video.
Well, it's good
Yes,
to have
and
you
talk to
here.
you. It's so amazing. Thank you.
Oh, good.
Yes, I found it very difficult. Also, hello and greetings from New York to all my classmates, I would say, to everyone, and wish everyone all the best in the year of monkey.
Hmm.
I'm based in New York. I work for the United Nations Development Program. So I'm
Okay.
still working very hard to improve my English, and your videos have been so helpful, Annie.
Oh, good. I'm so glad. What a wonderful compliment.
Thank you. And I like it actually. You don't send us new videos before we practice for 1 week that old video. And I think it's really wonderful way to do that. Or else you're gonna jump all around and then perhaps even getting a bit
Hmm.
tired and later give up. So it's a very nice pace.
Yes, and I'm glad you bring that up because that's an important part of this program is because there has to be time to practice and it has to
Yes,
be delivered in the right way because you can jump on YouTube and there's videos that you can watch at any time or on any subject. But the important
yes,
part and what makes this program so effective is because it's done in a very logical order in a way that's going to help you build those skills step by step. So
yes.
it's done very deliberately in the Pronunciation Pro course. So thank you, appreciate that.
Thank you,
All right.
Annie.
So your question
Yeah.
was with that long O and the dark L, right?
Yes, the dark L is very difficult. I couldn't understand in the video you said make a cup shape of the tongue.
Mm-hmm.
And does it mean that the tongue is curved up a little bit
Yeah. So
all
what
around?
happens is it's kind of like the long O. Do
Yeah.
you kind of feel how your tongue is kind of there at the bottom of your mouth? O,
Oh,
O,
oh,
O. So
oh,
your tongue's there at the bottom of your mouth. For the dark L, O, O,
oh,
O. Your
oh,
tongue stays down for that dark L, O, O. The what happens is the shape of your mouth kind of changes. O, O, O.
oh, oh,
Yeah, so it's a little bit tricky. And one
oh,
thing that so here's what I want to do first in all
yeah,
my videos, we always do that listening exercise, right? So it's
yes,
important for you to hear the difference before you're able to make that sound. So let's go through a little bit of a listening exercise
uh-huh,
between some of these sounds and these words that you were talking about. Okay, so I want everyone to be listening to this, and I want you to also answer which one I'm saying. So I'm going to say either the first word or the second word, and Solon, I want you to actually pause for a minute before you answer, so to give everyone else a little bit of a chance to listen and to be able to give their response too, and then I'll ask you what you hear. Okay.
okay,
All right, so for these first two words, I'm going to say either the first word or the second word. You write either one or two in the questions box. Okay, ready?
yes,
Roll, roll, roll. All right, what do you think, Solon?
um, Annie is number two,
Yes,
row,
good. Okay, so roll,
row,
roll was number two. So here's what I'm going to
row,
do. I'm going to contrast. So if that was hard for you to hear the difference, I'm going to contrast first word, second word, first word, second word. I'm going to go and do that so that you can hear them in contrast to each other. So ready?
okay,
Row, roll,
row,
row, roll,
row,
row, roll.
row. Yes,
Okay,
I certainly can hear the difference, Annie.
okay, okay, good.
Yes.
Okay, so I want to make sure that everybody else can hear those differences too. So let me talk about kind of the shape of the mouth. Row has that really tight, kind of rounded position for the lips. Row, and then roll, roll. Do you see a little bit of a difference with the lips? Roll. It's a
Row,
little bit more open.
row,
Oh, oh. There's still a little bit of a rounded shape, but not as tight as
row.
row. Ooh. Okay. So that's kind of the difference there. All right, let's do a listening exercise for these next ones. Okay, ready? Ho, ho, ho. Wait for the response here. Row, row. Sorry. Ho, ho, ho. Okay, what do you think, Solon?
Number 1,
Yep,
ho,
good,
ho,
good. Okay, looks like. Okay, so let me contrast 1 and then 2. So row,
okay.
I'm sorry. Ho,
Ho,
hole,
ho,
ho, hole,
ho, ho,
ho, hole.
ho, ho,
Okay. All right, and let's
ho,
do the last one. Here we go.
ho.
So say those two for me, Solon.
Um, okay. Ho, ho,
Yep. So it's just a very slight difference,
ho,
but I'm hearing that from you.
ho.
I'm hearing that difference, so that's good. Okay. Here's the next one. Ready?
Yes.
Bowl, 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 bowl.
Ho.
All right. Go ahead, Solon.
It's number 2.
Good.
Ho,
Yep. Okay.
ho.
So
Yes.
contrast 1 and 2. Ready? Bow,
Ho,
bowl,
bow,
bow,
bow, bow.
bowl.
Oh,
Yeah. Bowl.
bow, bow,
Yeah. So it's just a slight
bow,
difference, but you're getting it.
bow.
Good.
So
Okay. So
Annie,
yeah.
I can get access to this video online, right?
Yes,
This one that recorded audio.
yes, I'm recording it right now, and then I upload it to the website where it says webinars. Okay.
What? Thank you.
Okay. So real quick, for those of you who are having a harder time with this dark L sound, I would say here's my advice to you. If you can't quite get that dark L, then I'd say go ahead and just produce the light L. So the light L is when the tongue completely comes up and touches the roof of your mouth and gets that la 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 sound. Because what happens is it might not sound exactly like a native speaker, but what's going to happen is it's going to be easier to understand. It's easier for native English speakers to understand you if you just go ahead and do the light L versus doing something that sounds more like a vowel. Does that make sense? So if you're saying bow and you can't get that ol for bowl, then go ahead and just say bull, bull, and get that L kind of up there on the roof of your mouth. Does that make sense? Because I think that's going to be a good alternative for you if that dark L just is too difficult. Okay, so let's go ahead and, kind of messed up the the way this showed up. Okay, so don't mind these two down here, but Solon, say these sentences for me. So I can row to the edge, I can roll to the edge. Sorry, I
Okay.
spelled that wrong too.
I can roll to the edge. I can roll to the edge.
And that should be an L there. Okay, so then let's do this next one. Hoe. So hoe is kind of a gardening tool. So watch out for the hoe in my garden. Watch out for the hole in my garden.
Yeah. Okay. Annie, sorry, somehow I lost the. Okay, I got back.
Okay.
I watch for the hole in my garden. I watch out for the hole in my garden.
Okay, so
Hole.
hole in. So what's going to happen here with the words up here for row and roll? What happens is row to, roll to. So we'll get that dark L. But what happens in here when it comes to linking is that hoe in my garden, hole in. You're going to kind of touch that L to go into the next word. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So watch out for the hole in my garden.
Hole in my garden.
Yes. So do that again.
Watch out for the hole in my garden.
Yes. So that dark L is interesting, and that's why I say go ahead and produce the light L, because even in connected speech, sometimes that dark L becomes more of a light L because of what's next in the word or next in the sentence. Because if it's followed by a vowel, Then we're going to touch that L to the roof of our mouth to connect it to the next word.
Yes.
Okay? So the same thing happens here. Her red bow is beautiful. Her red bowl is beautiful.
Red bow is.
So do that one
Her
for me.
red bow. Her red bow is beautiful. Her red bow is beautiful.
Yes, so that's nice and clear. That's nice and clear. So that's why I say go ahead and touch the roof of your mouth with that L sound, because it tends to be a little bit more clear than what native speakers do with that dark L. Okay? So you can kind of go either way depending on what's easiest for you. All right?
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Solon. Great question.
Thank you, Annie.
Mm-hmm. All right, wonderful. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into your questions here. So I'm just going to go down the list that I have here, and we'll get into what you're kind of struggling with. Osvaldo, glad to have you here again. Osvaldo, you
Can you
there?
hear me? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. I have a really hard time trying to connect to vowels because I don't know how to do the complete sound for one and the lighted sound for the next, and the connection, the wide and the vowel sound.
Okay. All right, so that
So
linking, right? That linking.
linking.
Yep. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into, let me turn to the linking lesson here. And we'll go so vowel to vowel is where you're kind of having a harder time,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm. No, with consonants it's not that difficult,
Yeah.
but with my main problem is with vowels
Mm-hmm.
in general. Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, so those
and I don't
vowels,
quite get them.
yep, vowel to vowel tends to be a little bit tricky. So what we have for vowel to vowel is just as a little bit of a review. So vowel to vowel, sometimes when it's vowel to vowel, we'll have to put kind of a glide sound in there to get your mouth to the next word. So my uncle is too angry. So it might be very subtle. So let me just hear how you're doing it, because sometimes what happens is my students kind of get too detailed with it and they're like, my uncle, they're trying to get that glide. But the important part with linking is that we're just kind of able to smoothly connect. And however you need to smoothly connect that, whatever works for you to smoothly connect that, then we're going to go with that, okay?
Okay.
So my uncle is too angry. So instead of thinking too detailed, just think, okay, I'm going to connect those words together.
Okay. My uncle is too angry.
Okay, so there is a little bit of a disconnect, but you're kind of saying my uncle, and there's a little bit of a break in between. So we do want to connect that. So my uncle, my
My
uncle,
my uncle is too angry.
too
My
angry.
uncle too angry.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because it's not about the speed of talking. No, it's about how to connect them. That is
Yes.
a little tricky.
Okay, so
Okay.
he ate the apple.
He ate the apple.
Good. So that was good because your voice is continuing on. You have that kind of smoothness between the words. And that's what I'm looking for. Because when I hear kind of a break in the voice between words, that's when I'm like, no, we need to have a little bit more of that connection.
Okay.
Okay,
So
so
keep practicing. That is the key,
so
no?
so let me see number 4 again. I always see you in the elevator.
I always see you in the elevator.
Good. So focus on keeping your voice on. So one other thing, and I go through this in the alumni part of the alumni course, but I want to do it with you guys right now. Let me just kind of write something out. And this has to do with linking. It's kind of a part of linking called chunking. And what chunking is basically when you have a long sentence like I'm you do these. Let me write this out. In your English. Okay. So basically, we have these chunks, okay? So we want to break apart. If we have a long sentence, we don't want to say, if you do these exercises, you will find success in your English. We don't want to make it just this really long, continuous, because with linking, we want to connect words together, right? But what we have to do is kind of chunk groups together. And it helps with your rhythm when you chunk. So if you do these exercises, you will find success in your English. So I kind of chunked, if you do these exercises, you will find success in your English. Did you hear that? So it's kind of like, okay, we want to link and connect this chunk together, and then we want to link and connect this chunk together, and then this chunk. Okay, so do that sentence for me with those 3 chunks.
If you do these exercises, you will find success in your English.
Perfect. And so that helps with that rhythm too, right? Kind of where the pitch rises and falls and rises and falls is kind of use that chunking idea. All right?
Okay.
Okay,
Perfect.
so use that with your linking and come practice that.
Sorry, Annie, but how do you spell that chunking? I don't know how to spell it.
Spell chunking? Okay, so I have it right here on the site. Can you see that? C-H-U-N-K-I-N-G? Yeah, chunking.
Sorry, I didn't see it before.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so chunking, and it's kind of a term used in pronunciation and things like that. And we go into a little bit more detail of that with the alumni course. Okay?
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Good question. All right, let me go down the list here. Okay, so Premica or Primica, let me see, I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce that. Primica, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there.
Is it Primica or how's your
Premica.
Premica. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, wonderful. So you're having a hard time with the TH sound, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me go ahead and go into telling the difference between the voiced and the voiceless TH sound. Is that the idea?
Yeah, both the voiceless and both the voiced and voiceless.
Okay, so with the week 1 lessons, you went through the kind of the voiced and how to tell if it's voiced or voiceless, right? Whether your voice is on or off. So here's the difference between that voiced TH and the voiceless TH. So do this after me. Z. And then the voiceless is yeah, so that's the difference in the voice. So it gets a little bit, so that's just in isolation, but it gets a little bit trickier when you get into actual words and sentences and things. So so with the word practice, here's the voiced one. So this, that, the. Go ahead and do those.
This, that, the. This, that, the.
Perfect. Your mouth's in the right position. You're getting that exact correct sound. So let's do it in practice sentence. This car belongs to them.
This car belongs to them.
Perfect. The girls spend all of their time playing.
The girls spend all of their time playing.
Okay, so you're getting the right position. You're getting the right sound. That sounds perfect. So let's go into the voiceless sound and make sure that you're getting that sound. So practice words, think, thaw, thick.
Think, thaw, thick.
Yes, so that's it. So it just has a little bit of an airflow, a little bit more of an airflow before your voice starts. Okay, so do this.
Okay.
Thank you for the thermos.
Thank you for the thermos.
The thunder scared away the thief.
The thunder scared away the thief.
Good. And what I like about those 2 sentences is we have the voiced the in there as well as the voiceless other, the other voiceless sounds. So you were able to transition between that voiced and voiceless words very, very clearly. Okay, so do that number 3. 3 friends and I attended the theater.
3 friends and I attended the theater.
Yes. Okay, so you're getting it. So what you want to pay attention to with that TH sound, just get your mouth in position. And then what I find with a lot of my students is as long as the mouth is in the right position, that voice and voiceless will kind of take care of itself.
Okay.
There might be a few words in there, like Andrea and I were just talking about how I say with with a
Yeah.
voiceless sound, and she says with a voiced.
With
So there's a little bit of a difference between different people and the way they
voice.
pronounce some th sounds.
Yeah.
But
So what is so in practicing the words with the what is the difference between the voiced and voiceless when we use on the words?
what's the difference when you use them in the words?
Yeah,
So
when
they so
if
let
we
me
say
let me say one of
three,
these
yeah,
words with a voice sound. So if I said thermos,
yeah,
it
it
sounds different than thermos.
thermos.
Okay,
Okay,
thermos, and thermos.
thermos. Yeah, it would be mean different. The meaning would be a
Oh yeah,
different.
and then on some things, let me think of some words that there's a difference between the th voiced and voiceless. It just, to a native speaker, that's going to sound. So if you say thinks instead of thinks, it's going to be like thinks. What is that? what is that word? Oh, thinks. Oh, okay, then that makes sense. There might be just a little bit of just a pause of like, what was that they were trying to say, just because of that slight pronunciation difference.
Yeah, I have that was my confusion on between how when I use the I was in both as confusion for me.
Yes.
Where I use the voiced and voiceless.
Oh, okay. So did that make sense then? If it's voice, did it answer your question then?
I'm sorry?
Was I able to answer your question then? Is it
Yeah,
clear
yeah, yeah, I
now?
get that. I
Okay.
get that.
Okay, perfect. And one thing for you to make sure that voiceless th sound definitely gets that airflow, because tell me where you're from.
I'm from India and now I was in living in US
Okay,
and now
perfect.
I was in Ohio.
Oh, okay. Because a lot of my Indian clients, there's just a little bit more of a, instead of Thursday with kind of that
There-
breath, it's third day, Thursday, where it's a little bit more of like a pop sound, and we need it to be more of like
There's
a smooth glide sound. So say number
there's
8 for me. I will
there's
meet you on Thursday at 5:30.
I will meet you on Thursday at 5:30.
Yes.
5:30.
5:30. Yep. And those numbers are
5:30.
important. 3, 13, 30,
Yeah.
31, 32, 33. So all of those will be important to practice. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Good question.
And I said correctly.
Oh, sorry. I cut you off real quick. What was that last
Yeah,
question you said?
no, no, I was just spelled a thank you. So that was I asked you that was correct.
Yeah. So thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah. You
thank
said thank you. Perfect. That was good. All right. Thanks,
you
Primika.
so much.
Okay. So next question. Roger, let's go ahead and unmute you. Roger says words like mountain and design. Uh, he has some difficulty pronouncing words like mountain and design, and also differentiate between the Z and the S sound. So, Roger, are you there?
Yes, hi, how are you?
Good. How are you doing? All
Well,
right.
I'm struggling here.
Are you? Okay. Well, let's help you.
I mean, sometimes it's very difficult to pronounce the end of those words. It's mountain. I tend to say mountain, but it sounds like it's like a G in the middle of your throat, that G that I can't pronounce. So how do you do that?
Okay. All right. So,
Design. Well, how?
yeah. So here's with that word mountain. So let's kind of break it down just to what a native speaker would say and the exact sounds, because the spelling sometimes can really throw us off. So what typically what native speakers are going to say is mountain,
Now,
mountain.
all right. You silence. The A is silence.
Yeah, instead of mountain, because really with the kind of spelling rules, you're right. It would say mountain, But what happens is because the first syllable is getting stressed here, so we're getting first syllable stress on mountain, and that goes back to, I don't know what week you in the program you are, but when we talk about word stress, in 2-syllable words, whenever it's a noun, we do first syllable stress. So mountain, that first syllable is going to get the stress. So mountain, what happens is when it's the unstressed syllable, a lot of times native speakers will reduce the vowel in that word. Okay, so mountain. That's why that vowel is reduced. So say that for me, mountain.
Mountain.
Yes, perfect.
Mountain.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so
yeah.
I'm going to climb that mountain. Say that for me.
I'm going to climb that mountain.
Yep, so do it again.
I'm going to climb that mountain.
Perfect. That is exactly perfect.
All right. So just used not to pronounce the A.
Yes, and that's what that gets tricky. And that's one thing that I really want you to learn as you're going through this course is to not only learn the rules, but learn to listen. Because those small differences in some of those words that native speakers are say, I want you to be able to really differentiate the sounds of English so you're able to pick up on some of those differences. So as we go through those listening exercises, it's not only for that sound that you're working on, but it's also training your ear and kind of tuning your ear to all of just listening to English in a new way.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so the other word was design. Okay. Yeah. So this one is design. So what happens is, and my font kind of, that looks like an I, but it's or an L, but it's a long I. So that's that capital I that I use for I. So design. And that second syllable stress on this one, design. So that word, I'm going to design a new building. We will design this room. I don't know. We will design this room. So do that for me.
We will design this room.
Okay, so 2-syllable words. If it's a noun, we do first syllable stress. Verb is second syllable stress, right? So design. It can be design, can also be a noun, the design of the room, right? But the stress actually stays the same in that situation for this word.
Okay.
So one thing.
I'm just beginning. It's my first week with the course. So,
okay. Okay. Sorry, I'm throwing all this stuff at you that you haven't quite gotten to yet in the course. So you'll learn all about that word stress and the which syllable to stress and things like that. So it'll all come, and like we say, just kind of step by step. Don't get overwhelmed at first.
All right.
So the S and the Z, you also asked about the S and the Z. So
yes, I was doing those exercises. Sometimes bus, it sounds difficult for me to differentiate when I hear, also when I say the words.
Okay. Yeah, so the difference there, and in the week 1 of the lessons, you're learning about voiced and voiceless sounds. So what happens with the S and the Z is the mouth position is exactly the same. There's nothing different in the way your mouth is shaped. The only difference is in your voice. So the S is voiceless, and the Z is voiced, zzz. So it's getting a little bit more control of that voiced zzz. Yeah, exactly. So in the word design, we want to turn that voice on. Design.
I see. Design.
Yeah, and it takes a little bit, kind of stretch it out. When you have a hard time getting the sound in there, just kind of elongate it. Design. Perfect.
Design.
Yeah. Okay, so whenever you're having a hard time kind of getting that voice on, just stretch it out and get that voice on, and then you can start kind of, shortening it again. All right. So then in the bonus lessons, I just want to make sure that you're aware of that. So in the bonus lessons, there is this worksheet on when an S sound or S sounds like Z. because it can be difficult to know, okay, when I see an S, how do I know if it's going to be a Z pronunciation? So there is a little bit of a rule, along these lines, but a lot of times it's just a matter of practicing those most common words that have the Z and remembering them.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
All
So
right.
this bonus lesson, what do I found it?
Yeah, so on the side panel, on the navigation bar, when you go into your account, you'll see like pronunciation, pro course, you'll see bonus lessons, you'll see webinars. All of those will be on the side panel there. And you just click on bonus lessons, and it'll have a whole list of just extra videos and lessons of things like this.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Okay.
All right,
To
great.
get familiar with this.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. It takes a little bit to kind of get familiar with the program, but just kind of go week by week. Those bonus lessons are available. All of them are open to you from the beginning, so you can go through any of those. Okay?
Okay, good.
All
Thanks.
right. Thanks, Roger. Good luck with the course, and let us know if you have any questions, okay?
Sure.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, great. Let's see. So I'm just reading through the questions. So Olabenga is saying you're doing the... So Olabenga, you there?
Yes.
All right, so you're doing the tongue twisters, huh? So Olabenga is in the alumni course, and for all those who are new to the program and I'm not sure about or haven't heard about the alumni course, it starts after the 12-week program, and then I just give you a lot of lessons to help you just practice and refine and help build on the skills that you've learned in the 12-week course. So Olabenga, you're working on the tongue twisters, huh?
Yes, really.
How is that for you?
It's really good. It's a good package. I really like it.
Okay, good.
You worked well in getting almost all the necessary tongue twister words for us that could, be practiced and be used effectively in speaking very good English, which is good. Because most of the time we are not even aware that we are not pronouncing some of the words very well. But with those tongue twister, practicing it on a regular basis, you become very effective in the way you pronounce words.
It takes continued practice, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, good. I'm glad you're enjoying those lessons. I spent a lot of time making sure that I, make sure I gave you lessons that would be helpful.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Thanks for being here. All right, let's see. We'll go on to, so Irina is asking, should I pronounce the ing ending in American English with a clear G, or is it possible to skip the G? Okay, so this is a really good question about that ing ending. So Irina, you there? Hello. All right, I'm glad you brought this question up because it's an important one to really understand the difference between the, in or ing. So let me go ahead and write some. I do have, trying to think. I think the ing, there's a worksheet in the bonus lessons on the ing ending that I want you to use to practice after we talk about this today. Okay, but the ing ending, what happens is we definitely don't want to just drop the G sound, but there's a little bit of a difference in the way it's pronounced. So if I'm going to say something like talking versus talkin'. So if I just completely drop the G and I pronounce that N at the end, it's going to sound like talkin'. And what we want it to sound like is talking. So there's not like a very pronounced G sound. I don't say talking, right? But what happens is that N is pronounced, it's kind of stopped in the back of the throat where the G is. So talking versus talkin'. Okay, do you hear the difference there?
Yes.
Okay, so I want you to kind of say those two words for me. So do talkin'.
Talking.
And then talking.
Talking.
Yeah, there you go. So I can hear kind of it's hard to know, okay, what happens with that ing sound is you're not going to release the G very strong. And that's what you hear with most native speakers is you're going to hear, let me put it into a sentence. I'm talking with my friends. I'm talking with my friends. So I don't say I'm talking, talking with my friends. It kind of gets swallowed up there, but you do kind of pull it into the back of the throat for that talking. Okay, so say that sentence for me. I'm talking with my friends.
I'm talking with my friends.
Yes. So you're getting that pulled back, and that's what I want to hear. Versus what I don't want to hear is I'm talking with my friends. Do you hear that?
I'm talking.
Yeah, so talking where it ends with an N in the front of the mouth, I don't want that. Talking with my friends in the back. All right, does that help?
Yes.
Okay. Good. I think you've got it. That idea of just making sure you don't have to release that G fully. But go into the bonus lessons and kind of practice through those sentences and paragraphs and things with that ing ending and make sure you're getting that in the back of the throat. Okay. All right. Great. Thanks, Irina. Okay, so we are at the bottom of the list of the questions here. So what I like to do if we have a chance to kind of get through all the questions is I like to open it up for the hot seat. And what the hot seat is when you have a chance to I talk to you for just a minute or so. You kind of tell us a little bit about yourself and kind of where you are in the program and what you're working on. Or what your goals are and things like that. And then I give you a little bit of feedback because really what's important when you're working on your pronunciation and fluency and your accent is to know what area should I focus on the most. And as you go through the program, you go step by step, and I really do want you to make sure that you're going step by step through that program and taking it week by week. But some weeks it might be more important for you to really practice than others. So like the R might be a really big one for you to practice, but the L and the N, you might have a hard, easier time with that. So it's important to know kind of some of those areas to really focus and really make sure you're getting that correct. So if you're interested in doing the hot seat, I should probably name it something different so it doesn't make you nervous, but then go ahead and kind of raise your hand, or in the questions box, you can say something like, I want to do it. But it's been helpful, especially as you're going through the basic membership, because as you go through that, a lot of times with the Plus and the Premier package, you're getting that constant evaluation. Your trainers are constantly saying, okay, here's areas to focus on, here's areas that you're doing okay, doing well on. So it just helps you kind of focus that practice time. Oh, Osvaldo, good, thank you. Osvaldo, you there?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm here. Good, thank you for volunteering.
Can I read something or just improvise is better?
Usually the conversational sample is better for me, just because I hear a more natural speech. Because when we're reading, and I definitely want all of you to be reading out loud every day. If you're not reading out loud in English every day, focusing on your pronunciation, then you're not practicing. Okay, so what I want you to do is, as you're focusing and reading out loud every day, that's where you're focusing on, okay, this week I'm really focusing on that TH sound. But in conversation is what I really see how it's transferring, okay, and how you're really able to use those skills. Okay, so tell me a little bit about yourself. Have you done this hot seat before, Osvaldo?
But not telling about myself, only asking questions.
Oh, okay, good. Okay, so go ahead and tell me a little bit about yourself. It kind of gives me a chance to have you talk and yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I was born in South America, in Chile. but I went to study to Spain, and then I came to USA to be ordained like a priest. I am a Catholic priest. So I have some really interesting background, I think, for my work with people, because I know a lot of different kind of people. That is my job. Work with people, talking to them. By talking, I can help a lot of different people. So experience is my best goal in life. So now I have a little problem with the Western kind of accent, most of all with old people. I visit some nursing homes, and they have a really difficult accent, not only for for understanding them, but also by hearing them. Because some of the vowels, I was laughing because I was talking with a friend, and sometimes we said that they pronounce like they were chewing something. That is like my impression about what they pronounce on vowels most of all. So I am trying. I now with this, when you teach me how to listen, I am isolating sounds more easily. So that is my work now. Isolating sounds and trying to imitate them. But now I am hearing them, because before that I was not hearing them.
Yes.
And also that is one part that I am working on, and the second part is just reading aloud. And I trying to record myself, and I bought a new microphone, because this one worked well with my computer, but I bought one for my phone that is much better.
Good.
So I will send my homeworks with that new microphone that is a really good one. It's professional. So I hope that my trainer will listen to me much better.
Okay, well, good. Okay, so when you're saying the older people, you were having a hard time kind of understanding them. Are they native English speakers or?
Yes, native.
Native English speakers, yeah. And so what tends to happen is, like we talk about, the muscles in the mouth are a muscle, and as you're pronouncing words, because they are a muscle, you can either have them be strong muscle or weak muscle. And as people age, those muscles, all over your body tend to get a little bit weaker, right?
And some of them don't have all the teeth.
Yes, and the teeth. All of those are important, right, when you're speaking. And so that tends to happen as people get older, is those muscles get weaker, and so the pronunciation isn't as sharp. So it gets a little bit harder to understand as people as they get older. So, but it's a good listening exercise, right?
No, but I now know that the th sound is more difficult when you are talking spontaneously, because I practice and I am hearing myself pronouncing it, but talking spontaneously, th sound is just dropping continuously. So I am working on that.
I'm glad you're hearing it, because that's a big part of the program, is making sure you can correct yourself. Because if you're hearing it, then I say, yes, he's getting it, because he's gonna get it, because you're hearing that, that occasionally dropping that th sound. So that's good. You'll get it. It just takes a little time and that awareness. All right. And actually, as you were just speaking to me right now, I didn't notice any problems with the th sound. You're getting that mouth in the right position, and I'm hearing it very clearly. So as you're recording yourself, be sure to record yourself not only reading, but doing conversational questions like this. So just kind of taking a question in the alumni course, that I give a little bit of some of those prompts, but you can take any topic and just kind of talk about your favorite holiday, or your favorite memory growing up, or something like that, and just record yourself talking about it spontaneously, and then listen back and think and see, okay, can I identify any of these problems?
And the trick of the mirror is also really good. When you see yourself that you're not getting the full pronunciation,
Right.
That is really good too. I have a little mirror in my pocket.
Oh,
I
good.
carry it, yeah, to be sure, huh?
Good. You're a good student, Osvaldo. You're doing
Oh,
well.
thank you.
Good. Okay, so here's kind of some feedback for you, just kind of areas to focus. You're doing very, very well. Very a lot. The sounds are sounding very crisp. You'll want to make sure to because is it Spanish that is your first language?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
So Spanish being your first language, a lot of my Spanish speakers, I just have to remind them to kind of move their mouth more because that's a little bit, in your first language, it's a little bit more, there's less movement of the mouth. So
Mm-hmm.
making sure that those mouth muscles are really moving and there's bigger movements there is important so that the sounds don't kind of blend together too much.
Mm-hmm.
So be aware of that. Continue to kind of refine those vowel sounds. I think that you're doing very well on a lot of them, and you're really really close on most of them. But it's just that continued refinement of those vowels will be an area to keep focusing on. Um, the V sound, okay? V, va, va, va. Okay, you want to make sure that V sound, you're getting your teeth on your bottom lip. Va, va, va. Vacation, very. I can't remember what word it was. There were two different times with the V sound that I wanted to make sure that was a little more clear. Okay.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And then you had said and I wasn't sure if it was showing or chewing. Were you talking about the older people chewing?
Chewing like a chewing gum
Yes.
or like a cow.
Okay, so here's what I want you to do is I heard shooing, which is the pair of the CH sound. So we want to make sure it has a little bit more of a ch sound, chewing.
Mm-hmm.
Chewing. So instead of
Chewing.
shoeing, which would be like a shoe on your, chew and shoe, like you put on your foot. So I chew my food, and then there's a shoe. So make sure that CH sound has more of a burst to it.
Okay.
And in the bonus lessons, there's the CH sound in there. Okay, so there's a worksheet.
I'm still working on that. I review it from time to time.
Okay. Yeah, and that's the trick. So that's what I want to make sure. That's what's great about this hot seat thing is that when you kind of brings that awareness to you, then you're like, okay, I'll practice that more, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
I love this hot seat.
Okay, perfect. Well, I'm glad you volunteered. So thank you. That's all the feedback I have for you for the hot seat. But what you're doing and the way you're doing it is perfect because you're hearing what you need to hear, and you're continuing to work on that. So that's perfect.
Okay, thank you.
All right,
Thank you very much.
Oh, I think I cut you off.
No, yeah, I just was thanking you
Okay,
for
good.
all the good practices.
Good. I'm glad it's helping. All right. Okay, so here we go. Let's do Premica. Let's go ahead and have you. Premica, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, wonderful. Tell me a little bit about yourself and kind of what you're working on here.
Yeah.
I know you tell us a little bit, but go ahead and.
Yeah, I'm from India, and I was here for past 2 months. Came here on November.
Mm-hmm.
I got recently married on last September.
Congratulations.
So yeah, thank you so much. And for living with my husband, I was here, and then I was being single in my home, so I wanted to learn anything, so I choose your program.
Mm-hmm.
And even when I go out, I was struggling with my English, so I can speak like fluently. I can't speak fluently.
Mm-hmm.
So I was struggling with my English, and even the pronunciation, I can't speak fluently, and I can't know what they are asking me or telling me like that.
Mm-hmm. So a little bit of that listening, having a hard time what other people are saying.
Yeah, I was very confusing what they are asking me. Like I can't hear what the word they are saying.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, and now I was being like confident with what I'm speaking now.
Oh, good.
So, now I was really very much confident. Now I can speak wherever I go. I was ready to speak. Okay, I can do that.
Good.
Yeah, I can do that. And now I was in home, but I can't go out, so I can't speak every day. Like I can't
Oh, okay.
be in conversation with anyone. So
Oh, okay. So a little bit harder to get the practice you need, huh?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I have very much hard to practice. So I have to stay single, and even I can't spoke to anyone. So I have to spoke with myself.
Okay. All right.
That's
Well,
very hard.
yeah,
Yeah,
finding ways to be able to speak and interact a little bit on a daily basis does definitely help. But
yeah.
uh,
But the reason I can't go out, I have to stay in home and single. So
okay.
here the temperature was so cold, so
Okay.
they can't.
All right. Well, good. And you said you're in the United States now?
Yeah, I was in United States.
Okay. All right, good. Okay, so here are a couple of things. You're sounding really good. The rhythm of English and making. What week of the program are you in?
Week 2.
Oh, okay. All right, week 2. So what I want you to focus on as you go through the program is kind of that rhythm and the pace of American English rhythm. Kind of the pace of keeping the pace pretty consistent. Because a lot of times, especially students from India, there's a little bit of a little bit more speeding up and then and then speeding up and then so there's the pace is a little bit different than American English, where it tends to be a little bit more steady. Kind of the pace is a little bit more steady. The the W and V sounds. We want to make sure that those W's, you get the wah wah wah, and the V is the va va va. Okay. Wa
Okay.
and va. So that W sound, go into the bonus lessons for that W sound, okay?
Okay.
And then just keep working on those vowels. I think there's a little bit of kind of British English influence in some of your vowels. So like can't instead of can't.
Can't. Yeah, yeah.
Things like that. So it's not going to be a huge problem in how other people's understand you, but if you're kind of wanting to move more towards the American vowel sounds, then that's an area to focus on. Then as far as just English goes, you want to make sure that you're clear on the present tense and past tense words. So that gets more into grammar and kind of vocabulary and things, but practicing, okay, when I'm talking about I'm going to do something or I did do something in the past, and kind of those future and past tense words, making sure those are clear. Okay?
Okay.
All right, good. Thank you for volunteering. I hope that helps.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
All
You're
right.
you're so wonderful.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm glad it's helping so much for you and that you're able to understand so much better now.
Yeah, yeah. I have now to spoke, right? So I have a chance to spoke to my how my English works now.
Good. Good. I'm so glad.
Yeah.
Thank
you
you.
so much.
All right, let's see. Olabenga, I'm going to open it up a little just for a minute for you because we have just a minute left. But Olabenga, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay, so I know a lot about you
is,
because I worked with you through the Plus program. But go ahead and tell me kind of some of the things that you're working on now.
Yeah, my name is Olubenga. I'm a graduate of Pronunciation Pro program. My major reason for attending this program are two. The first reason is because I'm a businessman and I've been in business for almost 25 years and I live in the North America. There is opportunity in North America that has to do with NAFTA, Mexico, Canada, and the US. However, if I want to seize any of this opportunity, I have to really be able to improve both my sound of English and my reading. So because of that, I'm taking this program and it has really been helpful. The second reason is because I'm a religious man. For example, I read the Bible almost every day and I do a lot of research. However, to communicate this message to the North American audience is very difficult for me. So because of that too, I've been taking this program and it has really been helpful because the
feedback I'm getting from the native speaker is very encouraging. And those are the two major reasons why I'm taking this program. I'm glad that it's been really helpful to me.
Well, thank you. Wonderful. And in Obenga, you've made such amazing progress through the course. I'm very proud of you. And been very diligent. That's what I really am impressed with, is how hard you work and how you stay up with the program. Yeah. Okay, so here's a little bit of feedback as you're continuing on. The biggest one are those the R vowels. Okay, so making sure that those ending sounds, especially like together and work, that you're pulling that R back and getting that stronger R. So say that for me. Together.
Together.
Yeah, and work.
Work.
Yes. Okay, so I know you have it in there to get that R back. So that's really what the main area in those R vowels. Because you're getting the R at the beginning of the word, you're getting those R blends, but those R vowels tend to get kind of relaxed a little bit more, and I need them to be up, stronger. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, you're welcome. Okay, thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Being here today. If there are more questions, and Solon, let's see, what are some common errors for the Asian students in their pronunciation? Is Solon's asking kind of common errors for Asian students in pronunciation. For Asian students, I hear a lot of the L and N and R kind of errors in those. So making sure those R and L, that they sound different, and there's a clear difference between those two. And then the N sound, especially at the end of the word, the N, let's see. And then the long vowels, 5, time, April, some of those longer vowels tend to be tricky. And then a lot of it is the rhythm, okay? Making sure that rhythm, like we were talking about earlier, that chunking and linking and kind of the up and down pitch of it, of American English, that's really the area to focus on. So as you go through the Pronunciation Pro course, each and every week, you'll find a lot of those areas, included in the program. So keep moving along with the program and you'll hit all of those. Okay, thank you so much, everyone, for coming today. I really appreciate it. I'm glad it's been a good one, for you. And I love hearing about all of your experiences with the course. That makes that's just such a wonderful to hear your experience, the confidence that you're gaining, the way you're able to hear better, kind of how other English speakers are speaking, and being able to catch your own errors. This is all what this course is all about, and I'm glad to hear from you that it's working the way it should. So thank you so much for coming. And if you have any other questions or anything, go ahead and email me. And I hope you can make it to the next webinar, and we'll just keep going from here and keep learning and keep improving. All right, thanks, everyone.